We're at the BNBL Championships at the very end of the summer.
This is actually the game I'm looking forward to of the three tonight. This is probably the most even game going into it.
Are you kidding me? We've seen him do that Maurice works. Nice move to the basket there for the showstoppers.
To have those long arms and really good hands, it's a major advantage.
Oh, bring it down the house! What a game here in the girls 15 and under division. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Tynan Community Center in South Boston. As we bring you a matchup in the girls 18 and under division, as tonight Gatey will be taking on the Tynan. Hello, everybody. I'm Pat Flaherty. Soon I'll be joined by my partner, Alan Platt. We're in week 2 of the 2018 Boston Neighborhood Basketball League season. We're now here in our South Boston neighborhood at the Tynan Community Center. We've got a girls 18 and under division after doing a boys 18 and under game last week. Now, neither of these teams in the girls 18 and under division made it to the championship game last year, but there was a team out of the Tynan that made it to the, I believe, the 15 and under girls championship game. So they do get teams to the finals later on in the BNBL season out of this site. Now, we haven't seen these two teams yet this season. These two teams also have only played a game or two so far this year, so both teams are still trying to figure out their way around the BNBL season, and some of these players haven't played much together, so we'll see how these two teams mesh probably throughout the season and throughout the game tonight. It's going to be very interesting. Usually Team Tynan has a pretty good team and can often make it to the BNBL finals later on in the season. Now, for more on this game, we're going to go to our sideline reporter, Seth Orensky, who's got an update for us. Seth, what do you have?
Thanks, Pat. This game might be listed as an 18 under game, but it just as easily could be a 15 under game for all but 2 players. It's a very young matchup here at the Tynan Center. The Tynan team has 2 18-year-olds, and those are our players to watch. Jacqueline Began and Julia Casper, the 2 leaders on this team. They're helping the youth movement on the Tynan side. On the other side for Gatey, every player is 15 or younger, so this is a team that is certainly learning how to play together and will grow over the next couple of years. Pat, take it away.
Seth, thanks very much. And certainly when we look at some of the older players for this Tynan team, they're also 2 of the taller players, so they'll certainly help in the rebounding department for the Tynan team against this Gatey team, who also has less players. We'll see if, it's a little hot and muggy here today in the city, and it's certainly a little warmer here in the Tynan Community Center, although not quite as hot as it normally is, so we'll see if that plays into a factor with the team with just right now 6 players. As usual with the BNBL, we'll see if more players show up. It looks like we're just about set to go here at center court at the Tynan Community Center, so we will be seeing the tip-off in just a second. Tynan taking on Gatey. And as we mentioned, Tynan Community Center, or the Tynan team rather, has often made the BNBL championship in the past. And that's the Tynan team right there in the all-black uniforms, coached by Allison Baker, with the Gatey squad in the light blue uniforms, coached by Colleen Lombard. And we are set to go here for the tip-off at the Tynan Community Center. Girls 18 and under division, as Seth said, a lot of younger players who have moved up. This Tynan Community Center had a lot of 18-year-olds playing in this division last year, so a lot of the younger girls moving up. Some of these girls are possibly 16 or 17, so we'll see how their lack of experience out on the court maybe plays into this one tonight. Looks like we've got a player with a little bit of extra jewelry there out on the floor, so she'll have to take care of that before we get going. It's our second week of covering 18 and under basketball. Last week we covered boys. This week we covered girls. We will try to get to some of the younger divisions as the rest of the regular season continues. And also, last week was the first week of BNBL. It's often a little disorganized, a little trying to get everybody together, trying to get the team rosters together. This is really the first full week of BNBL, so we'll see if some of these teams are a little bit more in sync this time around. We are set to go here at the Tynan. They control the opening tap. Swing the ball around the perimeter. And knocking down the 3 for the Tynan was Jackie Benson, one of the 18-year-olds for this Tynan squad. Sometimes in some of these BNBL games, it takes a few minutes for either team to get over the hump and score their first basket. That time it was Benson knocking down a 3 right away for the Tynan. Got a jump ball. It's going to stay with this Gatey squad. we got an extra step that time from Team Gatey. I believe that was Kiara Wilbanks with the travel there. So Tynan now trying to come right back after the three from Benson. Drive down the baseline, and we got to travel that time. So both teams trying to shake off the rust here to start off this game. And a turnover there for the Gatey squad, so we'll see if Tynan can capitalize off that turnover. The three fired up this time off the back iron, and Tynan with the offensive rebound. Benson with another open three. That time she's short with it. Gatey now out on the break. They got a 2-on-1. Good drive here for Gatey, but the pass is picked off underneath the hoop that time from Julia Casper. Here comes Benson. And that time she got caught in between, I think, a jump shot and a layup. So now here comes Gatey again with a one-player advantage, but another turnover. Now it's Benson out on the break, but I think she's going to lose that basketball out of bounds back to Gatey. So after that first three-pointer by Jackie Benson of the Tynan squad, neither team's really had a good look since. See if Gatey can get off that, get over the hump here and get that first basket. That's always a tough one. As that three doesn't fall for number one, Sarah Galvin. Ball goes out of bounds, and once again, another turnover for this Gatey team, who just can't hang on to the basketball right now. It kind of seems like some of the players don't exactly know where to go offensively. Meanwhile, for the Tynan, no, they throw the basketball away too. So both teams riddled with turnovers so far here in the first 3.5 minutes of the game. That jumper well off the mark. That was probably the cleanest look that Gatey's had so far here in the first half. That three fired up. Tynan not shy about launching from three. That's a nice drive to the basket. Shot was short, but Gatey hangs on to the rebound. Another three for Gatey. That time it's good, and we're tied up at 3. Here with now 4 minutes gone by in the first half. That three no good from Tynan. You think this Tynan squad, with the height advantage they have, would try to go towards the basket a little more. Another open look for Gatey off the mark, and that's tapped out of bounds, going to stay with Gatey. Deflection, and Tynan Casper now with it, top of the key. She's going to fire up a 3. She's going to be well short, but it's saved by the Tynan. Another jumper launched, and that one doesn't fall. Tynan still retaining possession, however. Good swing there for the Tynan. It's knocked away by Gatey. Quickly up the floor they go. And that's going to be a double dribble. So both teams able to knock down threes early on. But That's been all the scoring so far for either squad. Good swing again for Benson. She'll try a corner three, and that one's no good. Offensive rebound and putback is good that time for the Tynan. Number 3, Caitlin Fitzgerald, getting on the offensive glass. Good poke steal that time from the Tynan. Kate Donovan. Tried to skip past that time, and it's Casper who comes away with it. Another turnover there from the Tynan. Now it's Gatey. Substitutions for both squads. As number 9 for the Tynan, Olivia Jackson comes in. Also got 3 new players for Gatey. Start of the game, we had about 6 players for Gatey. They had three more show up, so now with 8 total players, they can certainly get some rest for a lot of their players out on the floor. We got a foul underneath. Looks like that's going to be on Grace Whelan from Gatey. So now at the free throw line is Caitlin Fitzgerald shooting 2. And Fitzgerald cannot hit the first. Knocks down the second, so now a 3-point lead for the Tynan. Jumper from the corner is good that time from Gatey. That's number 5, Kaylee Flaherty. Fantastic last name, knocking down that jumper for Gatey. Tynan with the missed shot, but they hang on to possession. That's really been what's been hurting Gatey, is Tynan has been all over the offensive glass here early on. Corner 3 for Gatey, or for Tynan, no good. And Flaherty cannot come up with the rebound. It's going to stay with the Tynan. 3 substitutions now for this Tynan squad as Benson, Casper, and Fitzgerald get a breather. That's going to be another turnover for the Tynan squad. And now Gatey wants to take a timeout here. 11:20 left to go in the first half. Right now, Tynan with a 1-point lead over Gatey. And for an update on this game, we'll go to our sideline reporter, Seth Orensky. Seth, what do you have?
Thanks, Pat. You look at this Tynan team, they have a little bit more composure about them. That's because they're a very successful CYO team. They've won 2 state titles, and while Allison Baker's side's a little bit younger this year than in past seasons, she's really relied a lot on those 18-year-olds, bringing the 15-year-olds along at a little bit of a faster pace, and that's helped them get out to this early lead. The big focus for Tynan today against the younger team, just pass the ball a little bit more, get that defense moving, hope to get some more of those open looks. They've had a ton from distance, still trying to get some looks in the paint. Pat, take it away.
Thanks very much, Seth. And yeah, right now, Tynan with the height advantage and a couple of older players had the rebounding advantage, especially on the offensive side of the basketball. They lead 6-3 on the rebounding side. And we'll see if that continues. They just made some substitutions, so they have a little bit smaller lineup now. And we're also now joined by my partner, Alan Platt. And Alan, right now the Tynan with a height advantage and a couple of older players had the lead, but the 3-point shot is knocked down that time for
things
Gatey
around, huh?
by Grace Whelan. So Whelan knocks down the 3, and all of a sudden it's a 2-point lead for the first time for this Gatey squad.
Like you said, size not as much an issue now that they've gone to the bench for the Tynan.
That jumper short that time from Flaherty. Now back up top for Gatey. Another 3 knocked down again shot. That time from Grace Whelan.
Making that play, Colleen Lombard got the rebound. Would look like she was trapped, but was able to get the ball out to Whelan.
And a running that time, no good for the Tynan inside, but they save the offensive rebound. Layup no good though. Good hustle play, and now it's Gatey once again out on the break. Nice move
European
to the basket,
move, right.
but the Euro step
couldn't quite get there.
Yeah, it doesn't provide the layup. Now it's the Tynan coming back down the other end. We have a block of the basketball. It's going to stay with the Tynan.
Interesting. Tynan looked like they went to the bench to match the quickness from Gatey, but hasn't worked out so far.
3 short on that shot. That'll go back to Gatey. Again, they try to go inside. Nice little move and stutter step, but once again, Tegan Fitzgerald had a tough time finishing underneath. She also had that nice Euro step move.
Right. Well, you notice from Gatey in the light blue, they work the ball to get good shots.
That time Tynan got a good shot, but could not knock it down from the elbow. Layup no good that time, but they do get the offensive rebound. Jumper no good. Fitzgerald trying for the save. Now it's Flaherty who hangs on to it. Now back up top for Gatey. Another 3 on the way. That time it was Whalen who could not hit it, but she'll hang on to possession for Gatey. Flaherty now inside to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald's going to get 2 free throws.
She's their main post player. She's patient, gets to the block. You mentioned she missed the Euro step layup, but that time, very patient, waiting for the defensive contact.
Fitzgerald no good on the first free throw.
You see inside. Nice step, drop step, move to the basket.
And she knocks down the second.
Friendly rims down here to Tynan.
So 6-point lead now for Gatey. That's a 9-0 run for this Gatey team after they were down by 3 earlier in the half.
Yeah, Tynan's offense has been pretty stagnant for the last 3 or 4 minutes.
Tynan again with the missed 3, and Whalen couldn't handle the high pass that time.
Right idea from Fitzgerald, just drove too much on it. Both teams playing zone in the half court pretty effectively. I mean, Tynan has not gone down to the post since they made those substitutions.
Another steal here for the Gatey. Back
nice
down
finish.
The other end, and the finish that time from Colleen Lombard.
She was off balance when she was going to make that layup.
11-0 run now for this Gatey team. Good drive to the basket that time by the Tynan, but the shot was blocked inside. Now we got a jump ball that's going to stay with the Tynan.
See a little off balance, slight contact, but not quite enough for a call. Good job to finish that layup. Good ball movement, nice shot, but just sort of a lid on the rim for the Tynan for the last 4 minutes.
Yeah, it seems like the Tynan, despite the slight height advantage, is here they get a wide open layup and they aren't able to finish.
Another fast break.
Rebound. Open jumper off the backboard. Nice banker that time from Whalen.
Bank shot from the mid-range.
I was saying before, it seems like Gatey is more apt to go to the basket,
exactly.
even though they don't have the height advantage.
They're using their quickness, and they're taking advantage of some of these. Tynan's missed some easy shots. Had some bad luck on a couple of them. They've just rimmed out. So you go there again to see that because their biggest player can handle the ball. That really helps.
Another Euro step, but she can't finish. But Fitzgerald does get the rebound.
Yeah, Tynan's going to have to go back to some size because they're getting really beaten bad inside. There you go again.
Nice pass inside to Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
She's had a heck of a first half for this Gatey squad, who is now on a 15-0 run. Tynan looking to get Jackie Benson back in the game, who opened the game up with a 3.
Yeah, Fitzgerald's been the main offensive threat for Gatey. 7 points, but she's also had a couple of other quality shots.
The banker,
good job.
Goes in that time for the Tynan.
Laughing about the fact that she didn't want to bank, but they all count, especially when you're in such a
she can't laugh.
She's
got to remember that she shouldn't laugh and just make it seem like she planned it.
Right. Sometimes honesty takes over. Tynan's trying to put together consecutive hoops, so get some free throws.
Last time it was Corinne Reedy with the banker, and this time now at the free throw line for the Tynan is Mary Kate Hart. And she'll get 2 free throws. And Mary Kate cannot hit the first. Substitution for both squads. Jackie Benson coming back in. And 3 substitutions for Gatey.
Madeline. Second one's good.
Free throw is good that time for Mary Kate Hart. 9-point lead for Gatey. 3-pointer on the way. It's short. Put back, no good. It goes out to Benson. Hart again going to the basket. Again, she'll go to the free throw line.
A few of the younger players in the game now for Katie, a couple of middle schoolers. You see the drive to the basket. Very aggressive. But Mary Kate just needs to calm down a bit in the foul line.
Second either, and Gatey comes away with the rebound. Gatey again with the man advantage out on the break. A little too much dribble in that time.
But I'll tell you, Pat, that's one of the few times they haven't got a quality shot. And they've been pretty consistent.
Hart no good from 3, and it's Whalen with the rebound. Whalen with a nice pass inside, but Jackie Benson knocks it away.
Yeah, defense
knocks
was
it off
there,
of Gatey.
But the ball got there, just couldn't be brought in by Kiara Lombard. The smaller team's actually leading in rebounds right now, team-wise 15-10.
Benson no good, or Bagan no good, excuse me, on the 3, and the banker is good that time from Gatey.
So all going right on this right into the floor for Gatey.
Back to an 11-point lead for the Gatey squad. As Bagan knocks down the 3, that's her second 3 of the game. She's looking for contact.
She actually did get hit, but no call, but she did get the 3. Bring it back to an 8-point game.
Jumper no good. And now Tynan wants to call a timeout. 1:40 left to go in the half.
Tynan making a little bit of a mini run. They want to make sure they can take advantage of this last 1:40. Continue this run, get right back in this game.
If you're Coach Baker, too, I mean, it just seems like they should go to the basket a little bit more. I mean, I know they're getting open looks from 3.
That might, to be honest with you, Pat, that might be Gatey's strategy defensively, is to pack the lane, give up the open shots outside, and we've seen Tynan just miss a lot of them. So if Gatey continues, even though they're not quite as big inside, if they continue to have all their players sort of crowd the middle and everybody rebounds, then you're taking the chance that Tynan won't make those outside shots. We just saw a 3 from Tynan, but I think Gatey's figuring the percentage is not going to be that great to get them back in the game. Interesting strategy, because you don't see it that often, but Gatey so far has done pretty well.
And also sometimes in BNBL, you're at a gym that you're not necessarily practicing at that much, so the shooting isn't always there during summer league especially. So out of the timeout, Tynan gets another open three for Began. This
That's
time,
spot.
Jackie can't knock it down.
She's taken 4 from that spot already.
Whalen looking for an opening. Short on the jumper. And it's Fitzgerald with the rebound for Tynan. Casper almost gets it knocked away.
See, they're also surrounding that foul line area.
Began now on the drive, and she gets fouled on her way to the basket.
Earned those free throws. She made a 3 about a minute ago. This time she made a fake and then a drive to the basket.
Began no good in the second. We got a lane violation on the Tynan, so that'll go back to Gatey with just over a minute left to go here in the first half.
Seems that whenever Gatey passes the ball more than 4 times, they get a decent shot.
Let's move off the up fake. We get a foul underneath by Fitzgerald. Fouls on the floor.
The inbound on the baseline.
Whalen, no good off the backboard. Fitzgerald with another rebound for Tynan.
Yeah, a little bit of a drought now for Gatey scoring, giving Tynan a chance to inch a little closer, down 8 right now. Make that 5.
Knocks down the
three-pointer
three.
from the deep corner.
Began with her third 3 of the game. Leading scorer of the game with 9 points now, and it's a 5-point lead. Nice drive to the basket, but again, the layup is missed. Ball's knocked out of bounds, but that'll stay with the Tynan. We'll see if they can cut into this 5-point lead with 18 seconds left in the half.
Nice run by Tynan. They were struggling with some shots, but 2 threes helped.
With 8 seconds left, it's Gatey who can get the last shot of the half. Whalen unable to hang on to it, flips it back to Fitzgerald.
Nice steal, good steal. That steal actually prevented a possible shot by Tynan at the end.
So after the first half of play here at the Tynan Community Center, it's Gatey on top of Tynan, 20-15, and originally we had this Tynan team get out to a short early lead. Then all of a sudden, Gatey had this great run in the middle of the half that got him almost out to like an 11-point lead before Tynan sort of got that short run at the end of the half that really helped
you
him
identified
out.
it. When Tynan went to the bench, went away from their really big team, tall team, for whatever reason, it turned out to be Gatey's advantage. They started getting fast breaks.
Right.
Tynan started missing some outside shots, and before you knew it, you had a, 11, 13-point run by the Gatey team. So Tynan able to get back into it. So I think they're feeling a little more comfortable now. And they also had a chance to hold Gatey down a bit, because the last 4 minutes or so, Gatey was only able to get 1 hoop.
Right. So it was really tough for Gatey at the end of that half when they brought the size in. So you wonder if Tynan's going to stick with the size throughout the second half, or at least for most of the second half.
I would think so. I mean, a lot of times coaches will use the latter part of the first half to get all their players in to make sure everyone gets some playing time.
Right. That's certainly what we saw there in the first half. Everybody got a chance to be out on the floor in the first half here at the Tynan Community Center. Our sideline reporter, Seth Orensky, has one of the Tynan players who's got a lot of experience in this BNBL program. So, Seth, take it away.
Joined by Jacqueline Began, the official captain of this Tynan team. Jacqueline, you hit 3 threes in that first half to get your team back into the game. It seems like you're very comfortable behind the arc, but we also saw you drive. What's your focus on the offensive end?
My focus is just to make sure we all kind of work as a team and everyone gets the ball, but when we're down, like to make sure we're there.
Speaking of that, you're one of the 18-year-olds on this team, but you have a lot of 15-year-olds. How much of your focus on this team is on your game, and then how much of it is making sure that the next group is going to be ready when you leave at the end of the summer?
I want to make sure that we have all the 15 unders, like make sure they're ready, like they feel comfortable on the team to get them to improve them better, and hopefully they carry it on for next year too.
What's your big focus in the second half?
To at least get it tied for right now and make it up.
Thanks so much for your time. Good luck in the second half. Guys, it's all yours.
Thanks very much, Seth, and thanks to Jackie. And, you know, Jackie, one of the
few veterans, huh?
veterans on that squad. And when you have all those young girls coming in, it's always good to have at least a couple of older players to kind of show them the ropes.
Yeah, when she came back, you said she sat out for a few minutes, but when she came back in, she hit a three to help the Tynan break a long scoreless drought. Made another three before the half, has 9 points, leading scorer, added 3 rebounds, and I'm sure we'll see a lot more for this half as, like you said, the 18-year-older, even though she's sort of mixed in there with a bunch of 15-year-olds.
Sure. I'm sure we'll see a lot more of her and some of the other 18-year-olds on this Tynan squad. But right now it's Gatey who leaves by 5 here at the half at the Tynan Community Center. Folks, we're going to head to break. When we come back, we'll have the start of the second half here at the Tynan in South Boston. Right after these words. Don't go.
Open up your books to page 360.
Did you just look at your phone while you was in class? You played yourself.
Talking about inspirational quotes.
You gotta believe in yourself. Don't ever play yourself. The key is to make it, so make it.
Louise, can you give me an example of an inspirational quote?
Don't play yourself. The key is to make it.
And who said that?
I did. Now that's a major key alert.
Learn the real major keys to getting to college at getschool.com.
Welcome back to the Tynan Community Center in South Boston for our Week 2 coverage of the 2018 Boston Neighborhood Basketball League season as Tynan right now trailing Gatey 20-15. So we got a good one cooking up here at the Tynan CC. Folks, if you want to follow us on social media, search and go to our Facebook page. Search for Game of the Week here in Boston. We've got a lot of good stuff up on our Facebook page, including which games we're going to be covering throughout the season. Also follow us on Twitter at Boston City TV, and if you want to tweet at us, use the hashtag BostonGOW.
People are watching, Pat. I can tell you, during the week, I got asked a couple of times about our last game at the Lee School. They're saying, did those teams really play each other over the previous weekend? They thought we were just sort of building the game up by saying that. I said, no, it's true, but there were some guys missing on both teams. So
they were calling us liars.
No, they were asking the question. They're asking the question. So I clarified. I said, no, both teams were missing very important players.
Yeah, when you're missing a Terrence Clark, you know you're missing one of the better players.
Well, that's what I'm saying, yeah.
Good cut inside from Began as she knocks it off the backboard.
She likes the interview at halftime, right?
Yeah, now she's feeling good.
I tell you, she's been shooting threes. Now she goes down low using that size of hers to get a quick hoop.
11 points now for Began, and the lead is cut down to 3. Ferreira now with it at the top of the key, looking for an opening.
Yeah, we're seeing the Tynan defense extend now, take away some open shots.
Nice pass inside, and it's Fitzgerald who finishes it off. So Tegan Fitzgerald continuing a good play from the first half here to start the second.
Lombard again on the assist.
Began, that time no good on the jumper. Good rebound underneath. Fitzgerald coming away with the deflection and the basketball. And now it's Tegan Fitzgerald bringing it up the floor. She tries to find Ferreira. Now Delaney took an extra step.
Yeah. wanted to pass, then changed their mind, and that's when you get in trouble, checking those extra steps. 5-point game for Gatey in light blue. They were up by what, as many as 12, so game tightened up near the end of that first half.
Pass deflected, and here comes
Lombard
out of the gate. And she finishes
nice
the layup.
Finish. I thought she was actually going a little too fast for herself, but she got control right there, get to the backboard.
Beggin with a hard drive, but she lost her balance a little bit. Now it's Fitzgerald.
Ferrara.
Up to Delaney Ferrara.
Wide open hoop. You see the basket, you want to score, but you don't realize how far away you are. Got 2.5 steps.
Losing it out of bounds for the Tynan that time was Ella Welsh.
Yeah, the one time that we saw Tynan go inside, they scored the hoop to start the half, but last few times down, they've had trouble getting the offense going. Nice quick move.
Delaney short with that one, but it's Fitzgerald with the rebound. Now back to Ferreira off the up fake. Good swing for Gatey, but good defense that time from the Tynan. Ferreira open three. That time she couldn't hit it. Fitzgerald coming away with a rebound.
She's really working hard.
Doesn't get it over the top, but she'll get 2 free throws.
Yeah, she's been the most active player by far for Gately.
And 10 rebounds now for Fitzgerald. And she's able to knock down the first.
This is actually how Gately got that big lead in the first half. They chipped away, played good defense, had some fast break baskets.
Second free throw no good for Fitzgerald, so just an 8-point lead now for Gatey. Benson launching a three, and she banks that one home.
Hey.
Now she knows how to do it. She probably didn't intend to bank it, but
she's
just
the 18-year-old, yeah.
She's got the, she just said,
oh,
hey,
yeah.
I'll just pretend
I've done this before.
14 now for Jackie Beggin.
Looks like Seth picked the right inch for halftime.
Yeah, that's right.
She's
Ferreira no good on the three, but she gets her own rebound, but then couldn't handle it. And Ferreira commits a frustration foul after that play.
Yeah, I thought she had her own rebound and had it taken away. Back to the bench goes Tynan. Let's see how these new players can respond. No surprise, Beggin's the only one who stays in. The other 4 come out.
Beggin for 3, and she's off the mark with that one.
Steal by Beggin.
Beggin now swings it over to Hart for 3, and Hart's short with that one.
Nice steal inside.
And good finish inside from Fitzgerald.
Use those long arms.
And Caitlin Fitzgerald gets her team back within 3.
Full court pressure now. All of a sudden, Tynan goes full court press. And he forces a turnover. Back to a 3-point game. Tynan with a chance to get within 1 or possibly tie.
3 more players now substituting in for Gatey, including Grace Whalen, who had a good end of that first half. Knocked down a couple threes. It was a spark plug for this Gatey team off the bench first time around.
Yeah, Gatey's going to match some of those fresh legs that came in for Tynan.
Casper no good on the jumper. Fitzgerald there for the rebound. Can't put it back up and in. Beggin now off the up fake. Trying with the runner.
Oh, yeah, you're right, Pat. What you said, the fake made the play. Once she had that little up fake, because she's been shooting the threes all day. Up fake gave her an open lane to the basket. Talked about the rebounding earlier, but Tynan's been able to get themselves back in this game twice. Down 12, then their steals. They now have 7 for the game. That last one being Fitzgerald's steal and layup.
Began can't hit either free throw, but Fitzgerald up there for the putback first time. Gets it to go second time. Cuts it down to 1 here with just under 13 minutes left to go in the second half.
Fastest way to get 2 points. The traveling violation, so a forced, that Tynan full court pressure and trap create a turnover. Got a 1-point game.
Hart with a runner off the window. And Tynan has their first lead since 6-3 in the early going. And that's going to be a turnover on Fitzgerald of Gatey. So back comes Tynan again. They got another substitution as Colleen Lombard comes back in the game for the Gatey squad. As Ferreira heads to the bench.
I get the feeling that because Tynan and Black is such a young squad, they do this platoon system of 4 players at a time being subbed out. The first half didn't do much, but this half it's actually helped them get the lead back. We talked about the last few minutes of scoring. 14-5, the advantage for Tynan and Black with a chance to increase that at the free throw line.
Hart unable to get the first. She'll have one more. We're talking about basketball being a game of runs. We saw Gatey with that big run in the first half. Now we're seeing Tynan do it in the second half.
This game particularly.
Hart no good in the second either. Fitzgerald with another rebound. And that time she gets to go the second time around.
She got 6 points, 1 on the steal, 1 hoop on the steal, and then 2 on offensive rebounds. 9 points and 9 rebounds now for Fitzgerald.
Corner 3, knocked down that time.
They're going to give her 2 on that. I think she stepped in before she shot it. She'll get a 2.
And they do give her a 2, so just 28-27. 3 from Hart again is short. But Hart chasing after the steal. And it's poked away that time from Fitzgerald as she corralled Hart inside.
It's going to be a double dribble, yeah. Yeah, she spun with the ball, but then started to dribble again. Yeah, I think Fitzgerald's starting to feel like she needs to take over a little bit for Gatey. She is their leading scorer and rebounder.
Begging deep 3, she nails it for the
All
Tynan.
net. All net for that one. No hesitation.
Extends Tynan's lead to 4 midway through the second half. And that shot's blocked by Fitzgerald and shot no good inside. Now it's Fitzgerald of Gatey with a putback.
Able to lean away from the defense from Fitzgerald to bank it home. Bring her team within 2.
Inside Fitzgerald, nice power move.
Nice block though. Fitzgerald again. She loves that baseline, I'm telling you. Again, 4-point lead for Tynan and Black.
And Caitlin Fitzgerald with a good couple of minutes. That foul's going to be on Mary Kate Hart.
Good couple of minutes. What's that, 8 points since she came off the bench?
Right.
she's really lighting them up.
Lombard on the runner, no good. Fitzgerald with the rebound. She's in double digits for rebounds and points
steal
now.
by Lombard.
Fitzgerald gets
nice
stolen
steal
away by Caitlin
Well,
Fitzgerald.
I tell you, Fitzgerald's using that length of her so well. Turned the entire game around.
So Began now going to slow it up here for the Tynan squad.
The 2 older girls on the team. Held ball. Again, good defense. Tynan getting in there.
It's going to go back to Gatey. So can play that time from the Gatey squad.
But Gatey's going to get the ball back to Fitzgerald inside. That's where they've had most of the success. There you go. They're trying anyway. Problem is you have Fitzgerald, I guess one of the tallest girls on Tynan, playing one-on-one in that post defensively against Fitzgerald.
Whalen no good on the jumper.
Out of bounds. Not hustle, though. Good, really good hustle by Tynan.
We got 4 substitutions now for the Tynan. As Mary Kate Hart, the only player that stays on the floor. Casper, Began, and a couple others head to the bench. Fitzgerald back down the other end, gets fouled.
Yeah, just going to say, this is Fitzgerald's chance to try to get something going underneath with some of that defensive length on the bench now for Tynan.
Tegan Fitzgerald now with 11 points and 12 boards. And she's unable to hit the first. Tegan 0 for 2. Tynan almost getting the ball stolen away. Now we see these 4 players come in for the Tynan. They seem to be the less experienced players that Seth talked to Jackie Began about at halftime.
You're right, and you're right. Not smooth. Plus, they don't have Fitzgerald in there to go to in the post.
Mary Kate Hart with a nice move to the rim.
Totally under control. Even though defense was in a good position, she was able to keep her motion together and get those steps and get the layup.
Lombard. And that's stolen away by the Tynan. And the ball's poked away. It's Whalen back down the other end for the layup. Back to a 4-point game.
Good play by Whalen on the steal and finish. Another steal, Fitzgerald. Got Whalen up front.
And Whalen had a tough time hanging on to it, so that's going to go back to the Tynan.
Say, because of those runs you talked about, Pat, it's been a competitive game. Even though we've had double-digit leads by both teams, each have always come back. Approaching 5 minutes, which is just got a 4-point game.
Short with the jumper that time for the Tynan was Corinne Reedy. And now Team Gatey wants a timeout here. 5:05 left to go in the second half. Tynan on top, 35-31. Tynan currently on a 23-11 run. But, you know, the players who really established that run are now sitting on the bench.
On the bench. Well, that's what I was thinking. I'm thinking 5:05 to go in the game. It's at some point, those 4 on the bench are going to come back in. Definitely Fitzgerald and Began, because they're the leading scorers, and you're going to need them to try to close the game. Meanwhile, for Gatey in the light blue, I mean, they've had a tough stretch going against the Tynan defense when the bigger girls were in there. Now that the smaller team is in, they can try to get back to Fitzgerald. She's been their leading scorer all night.
And now we got an issue with the scoreboard, so they're going to have to reset.
There we go. Yeah,
that. There we go.
Yeah, I think that someone just kicked the kicked the AC cord.
So coming out of the timeout, Gatey with the basketball. 5:05 left to go in the game. Gatey trailing by 4. Lombard tried to squeeze it into Fitzgerald.
That was a force pass, but look at I like this. They're fronting Fitzgerald and have a defender behind it.
Lombard, strong drive to the bucket.
Yeah. Excellent play, because you had Tynan. 3 girls were actually focused on Fitzgerald.
Hart, nothing but nylon from 3. So Mary Kate Hart answering that drive from Lombard. Ferreira now caught in the corner. Lombard with the short runner, Fitzgerald with another rebound. Bard for 3, but good box out from Fitzgerald.
Okay, Fitzgerald did a good job on that one.
Couldn't hit the runner, though. Good save.
Nice save.
Fitzgerald
Wow.
still with
There
it,
you go.
and she puts it back up.
You're right, Pat. The save was what gave him the hoop. 3-point game.
Hart launches the 3. Fitzgerald then gets fouled on the offensive rebound.
Hart tried to follow. Coaches always tell you the shooter knows better when there's a missed shot where it's going to go. Hart tried to follow that one over the back with the foul.
Lombard stops, pops. She can't hit it. And a good rebound inside by Reedy. Here comes Hart. Going coast to coast for the layup.
Saw the small defender and just decided I'm going to finish this one myself. Got a traveling violation on Gatey. Well, it's a big call because it's a 5-point game now. Tynan gets the ball back. Up 5.
Had an open look underneath, but they couldn't convert. Ferreira with an open look.
Tried to bank one. Too strong.
Hart steps back for 3, and she's short with it. Good offensive rebound to Hart for the layup.
Yeah, this, like you said, this group with Mary Kay Hart sort of leading the offense. Nice 7-point lead.
Yeah, that was Evelyn Hurley with the feed inside.
Now the 4 veterans come back, or 2 of the veterans. 2 out of the 4 come back in, and not surprised. This is your closing team.
And you got Fitzgerald, Casper, and Began coming back in. And Began commits the costly turnover there.
Looks like Hart's still like the iron player. She stayed in with both changes.
She's played the whole half.
Right.
2 minutes left to go. 7-point lead for Tynan, so Gatey's got to get going here.
And again, now you have Fitzgerald on Fitzgerald, which is going to be difficult inside for Gatey.
3, no good from the corner. Casper coming away with it for the Tynan. Now it's Hart. He's got an open lane, and Hart gets it stripped.
There's going to be a blocking foul on Fitzgerald, so it'll be 2 free throws. Stop time last 2 minutes. Like you said, Gatey's got to get going, and it's going to be difficult now because the last time down, you see the sort of body contact by Fitzgerald. Yeah, the last time down on offense, we saw Tynan put a defender behind and in front of Fitzgerald to make it impossible for her to even get an entry pass. And you talk about playing the whole game. I think Fitzgerald's played almost the whole game, so she's a little winded herself, even though she knows her team needs her scoring.
After Hart knocks down both free throws, she extends the lead to 9. So those were huge free throws for Mary Kate Hart. And now looks like Gatey wants to call a timeout. 142.
They need it more to get a rest than anything else.
Well, as Gatey gets a rest here with a timeout, our sideline reporter Seth Orensky's got an update for us. Seth, what's happening?
Guys, the game has gotten away from them a little bit more than the last timeout, but the message is the same for this Gatey team. Minimize the nerves, be a little bit smarter with the ball, and Tegan Fitzgerald needs to stay out there on the floor. They're telling her, give up the basket to avoid that last foul because she's been so good for them on both ends of the ball. She's got a minute 42 to make that worth it as they have to come back from a 9-point deficit. Guys?
Thanks very much, Seth. 9-point deficit indeed for this Gatey team. They can knock down the 3, so we'll see if...
they have made a few, but they've got to get the best shot possible. Lombard, nice job.
Lombard.
Yeah, actually, there's a pick inside. Well done by Fitzgerald.
So back to the lead's cut down to 7. Now Tynan can kind of just play keep away here.
They can. Gatey's going to have to figure out when they want to start fouling because they got to stop the clock.
Yeah, there's no shot clock in BNBL.
Yeah, there go man. You got to foul also.
Casper over to Fitzgerald.
Yeah, they're not going to even attempt a shot unless.
Yeah, this is smart by this Tynan team.
Under a minute.
Hart to Fitzgerald. Beautiful pass inside for the easy bucket.
Yeah, the Gatey girls just got a little confused that time as they were sort of waiting for the call to foul.
Lombard gets fouled.
Reaching foul by Hart.
Yeah, right around halftime, which actually might be a good foul because it looked like Lombard had a chance at a wide open rim. Off the up fake, Ferrer. Can't get the jumper to go.
We've seen both teams have some very unfriendly rims at different times.
Casper over to Began. She'll fire up a three. Lombard up to Whalen, and she can't hang on to the pass. That's going to go back to Tynan with 15 seconds left. So the Tynan are going to take home a win here tonight from the Tynan Community Center.
The last run was the biggest. Totally a game of runs. Began was one of her few mistakes today, having the ball go through her hands.
Fitzgerald trying to make a move to the rim, but Caitlin Fitzgerald is there for the defense.
She's
Mary
really
Kate
worn
Hart.
out. They'll wrap it up.
And that'll do it here from the Tynan Community Center as the Tynan take down Gatey 46-37. And we mentioned that run in the first half for the Gatey squad that gave them a nice lead there. And actually, they were able to hold on to that lead a little bit throughout.
Well, I mean, the run, like you said, the run by Gatey gave them that double-digit lead, but it didn't really matter. Once Tynan went to the bench, got the right combination out there with Hart, because Hart was the ball handler, was scoring, was defending. That the time Gatey went through about a 4-minute lapse of no scoring whatsoever.
That's right.
Became a close game. Halftime was close. Tynan just did a better job of adjusting to the fact that it was going to be a game of runs.
Right.
And like we just said, the last run was the best one.
Yeah, and Coach did a nice job putting those older players in with about 3 or 4 minutes to go to really
wrap it up. That's right.
This Tynan team.
I mean, they knew how to kill the clock. I think that, Gatey, it looks like Gatey just didn't bother fouling because they were all worn out. I mean, Gatey didn't have as much of a platoon system, so some of their girls were playing a lot more minutes. And so when that last group of veterans came in for Tynan, they knew just to play keep away, don't even need a shot unless it's an easy layup. They killed at least 2.5 minutes of clock time. Right. Like we said, Gatey didn't bother fouling, so that was the game.
Absolutely. So the Tynan take down Gatey here by 9 at the Tynan Community Center in South Boston. Folks, we're going to head to break. When we come back, we'll have our Game of the Week MVP and our final stats from this game here at the Tynan Community Center. Make sure you stick around.
When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke.
I'm Paul George, and I want you to spot a stroke fast.
F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911.
Protect the ones you love.
Spot a stroke fast.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent.
We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
It's a beautiful day out here. Sunny today with light breezes, giving way to clouds in the afternoon. We could see some light precipitation to moderate precipitation later on, followed by powerful storm-like conditions. 90 miles per hour winds are expected. Authorities are asking everyone, stay indoors. Come on, that's it. Let's go.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
Got a quarter?
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish! In your face! In your face!
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Welcome back to the Tynan Community Center. At the conclusion of Game of the Week, Tynan takes down Gatey 46-37, and this Tynan squad just has a lot of younger players, but also several of or just a couple of older players that are certainly helping out those younger players. And one of those older, more experienced players is Jackie Began. She is with our sideline reporter, Seth Orensky, along with her teammate, Julia Casper. So, Seth, take it away.
Joined by Tynan MVP Jacqueline Began and assistant captain or co-captain Julia Casper. You said at halftime you had to at least get back into the game. Well, you got back into the game and then a lot more. You were really aggressive early. And what was, we talked about your focus offensively, but how much more aggressive did you think you needed to be down to start the half?
Up in the first half, like at the beginning, I thought to at least make it up by 10 points because we were only down by like 5 or whatever. But I also wanted to get the little girls into it too. So, I mean, I had to be aggressive, but I also need to show them that they could do it too.
Coach Baker gave you a nice long rest and then brought you back, and the lead had expanded. How much does that help at any level when you go out, the team has a little bit of a lead, and then it's even bigger while you get a little bit of a breather to finish off the game?
I mean, it's better to see all the younger kids like achieve and actually be able to like have fun and do everything too. So I mean, it's good to watch them grow.
Congratulations. Great job. Bring in Julia. Julia, first off, this is the last summer that you and Jacqueline get to play together. What does it mean to be mentors, but also to get to shine? Big game here, and then a chance to maybe win a title within the Tynan and maybe even go further.
It means a lot just because I do plan on playing basketball in college next year, so just getting to play this one last season with like the girls that like are my friends' younger siblings, it just means a lot getting to like help them improve.
Mary Kate and Caitlin had really big second halves. What were you maybe telling them on the bench or at halftime about what they needed to do in the second half?
Just to be like aggressive and go after like the net if they want to score, which most of them usually do.
What was your big focus defense like? You guys really settled down. They weren't able to score anywhere near as many baskets, but especially during that stretch where you were able to stretch the lead out to 5 or 6 points.
We just mainly wanted to be more aggressive, and we pressed them because from personal experience we know that it like makes you really nervous when another person is like on top of you and just staring at you while you're trying to get down the court.
Well, good luck the rest of the summer and next year. Guys, it's all yours.
Seth, thanks very much. And, you know, for the older players who have played at a lot of these sites in BNBL for years and years and years, and they get to that 18-year-old level, then, you know, they realize it's their last year. It's almost like being a senior in high school.
I was going to say, it's like being a player coach at that point.
Right.
You're a senior in high school. You're going to get most of the playing time. You're going to be counted on, not only by your coaches, but also by your younger teammates. And both those girls are well-spoken as far as how they view themselves with this particular team this summer.
No question. Certainly nice to hear them say those types of things, and we'll see if this Tynan team can make it further down the line and possibly get to that title game later on in the season in the BNBL championships. Right now we're going to take a look at our final stats from this game before we sign off from the Tynan Community Center. And first up, it's the Tynan squad.
Well, Bacon talked about her both at halftime and after the game. 17 points. Most of those points on three-point shots. Really good scoring game for her. Hart, that one of the taller inside players, had a nice run of like 8 straight points in a matter of 2 minutes. Ended up with 15. Fitzgerald, 14 rebounds. Bagan with 3 rebounds. And Casper, who we just talked to, a couple of assists, along with Reedy with 2 assists also.
Let's take a look at Gatey's final.
Yeah, Gatey was a little less sprinkled out, as Fitzgerald was their best player the entire game. Unfortunately, she played the entire game. Ended up with 13 points. Got a little winded in the last part of the second half. 9 points for Whalen, 14 rebounds for Fitzgerald. Welch with 5, 4 assists for Fitzgerald, and Lombard chipped in with 3 assists.
So good job there from the Gatey, but they couldn't hang on after having a couple of nice runs in this game.
They had 2 runs.
They actually played really well, but this Tynan squad with those 3 older players really just made a big difference. Did them in at the end of that game especially. Folks, I want to thank you so much for joining us here at the Tynan Community Center for BNBL Week 2. If you want to watch this game again, you can go to our website, www.cityofboston.gov/game of the week. All the BNBL games, basketball games, football games, it's all up there. Any of the stuff we've done, it's up on the website. You can also follow us on Facebook. Search for Game of the Week here in Boston on Facebook. We post the links to the games up there, along with some other good stuff. You can also follow us on Twitter at Boston City TV. And if you want to tweet at us, use the hashtag BostonGOW. 2 weeks down, we got 3 regular season BNBL weeks left to go. So make sure you check out that Facebook page. It's going to tell you where we'll be next week. For right now, we're going to say so long from the Tynan Community Center in South Boston. Have a good night, everybody.